This channel, a systematic teaching, enables you to awaken and end suffering and reincarnation. Please find the playlist in the description. Mahayana Pure Land welcomes you. Understanding Reincarnation to End Reincarnation. The Scientific Study on Reincarnation and more. Part 19. In the last part, we mentioned some cases from Dr. Bryan Jameison, who began his research into past lives and healing in the late 1960s. Many of his cases clearly illustrate cause and effect. Let's cite a few more to delve into the origin of reincarnation. A fear of birds, a tragic retribution for rape. An American patient named Barbara had an inexplicable fear of birds. When Barbara was 27 years old, she took a walk on a beach with a friend one day. Her friend took some popcorn to feed the seagulls. When the seagulls swooped down to fight over the food, one seagull swept its wings over Barbara's face and triggered an inexplicable fear in her. Under hypnosis, she recalled one of her past lives where she had lived in the southwestern US as a white male. When this man was 27 years old, he got drunk and raped a Native American girl whose family was so angry that they sent warriors to kidnap him. The warriors dragged him to the desert, ripped off his clothes, and then tied his hands behind his back. Before they left, one of the warriors took a knife and carved a wound into his chest. As the blood poured out, the Native American warriors departed and left him alone in that arid desert. The sun was very strong. He was bleeding profusely and quickly collapsed. A few vultures circled overhead. One of them swooped down. He screamed, but the vultures quickly realized that he had no ability to defend himself, and they rushed forward to fight over his flesh. Experiencing such desperate fear, he was literally scared to death. That year, he was the same age as when this female patient, Barbara, suddenly developed her fear of birds. Revenge of the unfilial hippies. In the 70s in the United States, a group of hippies who were curious about their past lives visited Dr. Jameison. Under hypnosis, Dr. Jameison found out that most of them were reincarnated from Native Americans who had fought with white men, the new immigrants, and were almost completely annihilated. Those Native Americans later reincarnated as children of the white people who had killed them to seek revenge, so they were mostly unfilial at home. This disturbed the social order in the society of white people. Nowadays, often in families, father and son do not get along. When parents and children do not have harmony, or when something breaches the peace in society, it is mostly related to past lives. The resentment incurred in past lives leads them to come for revenge in this life. These resentments must be resolved. The accumulated grievance would become deeper and deeper otherwise. As the ancients said, the hostility should be resolved rather than entwined. But how do we resolve grievances with others? The principles for being a human. Master Jing Kong said, "To resolve the resentment of the world, we can only rely on sage education." Sage education is indeed the education of gratitude and love. With ultimate sincerity, a grateful attitude, and a genuine loving heart, we can resolve the resentment of others, even if it is deeply rooted. We must not be afraid to sacrifice. If souls came for revenge as our children, how should we teach them? We must instill sage education from their childhood. The Confucian classic Mencius states, "There are principles to be learned for being a human. If one is fed well, clad warmly, and lodged comfortably, yet not educated by principles, he will become almost like a beast." When we don't learn the principles for being a human and act like a beast, our retribution would certainly be tragic. But what are the principles for being a human? Confucianism taught us Filial piety is the foremost among all virtues, while sexual misconduct is prime among all evils. So the most fundamental principles for being a human is to be filial to our parents and to never commit sexual misconduct. As Confucius taught us, being filial and fraternal is the foremost rule, so we must teach our children filial piety. When we look at these cases of hippies, the parents indeed killed them in the past. Yet the debt of gratitude for parents giving birth to children and raising them is immeasurable. The Book of Odes, Shi Jing, states, "Alas, alas, my parents, with what a toil you gave me birth. The debt of gratitude I shall repay is like the great heaven, boundless." Shakyamuni Buddha also elaborated on parents' profound kindness to his disciples in the Sutra of Parents' Benevolence is Too Immense to Repay, which gave us a very detailed description of the benevolence that parents bestow to their children. A mother carries a fetus for nearly 10 months, enduring any hardship in order to give birth to a healthy baby. After the baby is born, she takes painstaking efforts both physically and mentally to ensure her baby grows to be healthy. Loving parents have their every thought for their children. This debt of gratitude is impossible to pay back. Why? Because to be born as a human provides the best possibility to encounter and learn Buddha Dharma to end their six-realm samsara. According to sutras, celestial beings are too fortunate to be interested in practice, while the beings in the three evil paths, having too much suffering, are also incapable of spiritual practice. Only the human realm, mixing fortune with misfortune, has the condition for its beings to awaken, practice, and end reincarnation. Thus, we must give rise to a profound gratitude to our parents for giving birth to us. Sage education should start from filial piety. The Book of Rites, Li Ji, denotes, "In building a country and guiding its people, education is the first and foremost." But what should be the priority in education? In other words, what should be taught first? Confucius in the classic of filial piety has given us the answer. Filial piety is the root of morality, and it is where all virtue education originates. This statement points straight to the core that filial piety is the foundation of morality, and all education should start from filial piety. With continual disasters, our world is in dire straits. Observing history, we found that the fate of the world is amazingly correlated to the prosperity or decline of sage education, so it is crucial that we reconstruct sage teachings. Our planet is on a rapid path of destruction. Scientists have warned us that in the next few decades, if we miss the tipping point, our planet will be irreparable. We believe any country that implements sage teachings can lead the world to the path of salvation due to our world being the reflection of our hearts, according to Avatamsaka Sutra. Should we still not awaken from our delusions, aren't we putting ourselves in dire risk of extinction? Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for our last part of this series, How to Transcend Reincarnation. We truly appreciate your continuing support. See you soon on part 20.
南无阿弥陀佛。